Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Oh, yeah. All of our guests today, including Ross Tucker, standing by, brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort, located oceanside, hence the name, in beautiful Parksville. The Bayside Resort is one of Vancouver Island's premier spots to get away, unwind, and recharge with a locally inspired menu in their breathtaking restaurant. Their panoramic ocean view guest rooms, an on-site pool and fitness center. The Bayside Resort is your one-stop shop for relaxation. Book your island getaway today at BaysideOceanfrontResort.com as we bring in Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast and Westwood One. Ross, Merry Christmas. How are you, sir?
Merry Christmas. I'm doing awesome. I'm a little bit tired. I drove to Cleveland and back last night to call that game. That's about 5 hours from where I live in Hershey, Pennsylvania. But it was awesome. No rest for the weary during football season. This isn't like, Rick, who can just take a week off for hockey. Okay, I got football season. We keep playing.
Hey, Ross, I go 7 days a week. Whether you believe it or not, 7 days a week.
Yeah, you're not working, but it's 7 days a week. Hey, Raiders and Browns. Raiders win 16-14. What was more impressive? And you did the game, as you just mentioned, Ross. You helped call the game. Raiders and Browns. Who was more impressive, the Raiders in winning or the Browns, given their COVID situation, in keeping it close?
No, I'd say the Raiders in winning. I know the Browns were missing a bunch of guys, but they had enough to play better than that, I thought. What surprised me is that I thought the Raiders' defense outplayed the Browns' defense, and I certainly was not expecting that to be the case. The Browns were missing a couple guys on defense, but not their best players like John Johnson, Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, Anthony Ward, JOK. I really thought the Browns' D had to play better than that. Now, I guess they would argue they only gave up 16 points, but they had to play better than that given the circumstances of what they had on offense. And I got to tell you guys this, too. I think Derek Carr is good. I think Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback. I don't know why people seem to not like him or why he's always on that, but he's Derek. I mean, he's a top 10 quarterback to me. There were a bunch of drops. Their O-line's not great. He's the reason why they won the game.
So what do you like about Derek Carr?
Accurate, poised. I feel like he's clutch. He doesn't have Darren Waller, who's their best skill position player, hasn't had him for a while. They can't run the ball a lick, and he's under pressure a lot because the O-line's not great, and he's just steady. I mean, he's by far the biggest reason why they are 7-7. I think we've gotten to the point in football and probably society where it's like, if you're not a top 5 guy or maybe even top 2 or 3 guy, you suck. He sucks, dude. He sucks. Like, if you're not Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, you suck. Like, it's just so stupid. Like, no, you don't. Like, Derek Carr is one of the 10 best in the world at what he does. And there's a lot of teams, 15 of them, that would take Derek Carr in a heartbeat.
Tom Brady doesn't suck, but the New Orleans Saints have beaten the Bucs 7 straight times. They've beaten Tom Brady 4 straight times, including this past weekend. What's their secret to success against number 12?
Yeah, so there's a couple. I mean, obviously, they do a good job just disguising what they're doing defensively because Brady never looks comfortable. But in particular in this game, I mean, their offensive line just got their butt kicked. I mean, that's really what happened. Like, Cam Jordan, Onyemata, Marcus Davenport, they took it to a Bucs O-line that's typically one of the best in the NFL. Those guys got worked. And then obviously you lose Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette. That's going to hurt. And over the years, the last couple of years, pretty clearly, the Saints just have good matchups. Lattimore on Evans is a good matchup. They just do a nice job in their primarily man-to-man coverage.
Hey, Ross, Seahawks Rams rescheduled for today at 4 o'clock. Can you tell me, players are geared towards Sunday all the time. This new start date, start time, does that get you out of sync or rhythm at all?
Well, it definitely gets you out of your routine, right? And I don't know about all guys, but most guys, routine was really important for me.
Yeah.
Like I knew what I did, what I ate Monday, Tuesday, like I knew which day I went to the chiropractor, which day I got the massage, which day I could get a nice nap Friday afternoon. Like I had it all very regimented, and I would not have liked to get out of that rhythm like that. The other thing is, and I experienced this last night, I mean, I'm driving to Cleveland. I'm pulling in the parking lot. I had no idea who was playing for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah. You know, we talk about game time decisions all the time. I was waiting for the lab time decision. I was waiting to hear what the lab said about the COVID test for these guys. You know, how many guys would test negative and be able to play in the game? I guess they're all just sitting at a hotel or sitting at their house waiting to get the lab result and then drive over. I mean, it was just it's a very, very unique situation. And, you know, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. your time, we'll find out what the deal is with Seattle and the Rams and even Washington and Philadelphia. Are they getting guys off the list? Are they putting more guys on the list? It's like Santa's list right now, you know, checking his list, checking it twice.
Yeah, hopefully I'm on it. Listen, I always say football is one of the hardest sports for chemistry because the rosters are so big. Basketball is so small. Hockey's in the middle. This COVID, is it affecting football teams more, Ross? Because in hockey you have farm teams. You can call up players. Like, how tough is this COVID in the NFL right now for rosters?
So the thing they did last year, which was very helpful, is they gave a lot more roster flexibility. Before, if you went on IR, you were done. Now you can go on IR and come back after 3 weeks. When I played back in my day, there was 5 practice squad guys, and maybe I think by the end of my career there might have been 8. The last 2 years there's 16. So there's 16 guys in your locker room, in your facility, in your meetings, on your practice field. So like the Browns, I think, moved up 8 guys from the practice squad for that game last night. And it's such a smart move because you don't want guys that haven't been there. You don't want guys you signed off the street. That leads to mental errors and really bad football. Now, these guys were young guys. They're not as experienced, but they've been there. They know what they're doing. They know the system. The coaches know them. It's much better. Very smart of them. And I don't think we'll ever go back. So one silver lining, I suppose, of COVID is there's at least 6 more paid football players per team.
Pretty big issue up here, Ross, is the National Hockey League's testing policy for COVID. Daily testing right now versus the NFL. Only unvaccinated players and those who volunteer get tested. What are your thoughts on the NFL's drug testing policy?
Yeah, it's kind of a 180. I mean, the NFLPA had been pushing for daily testing. And then it's like after this Omicron variant came out, and I still can't believe I'm talking about stuff like this or acting like I know what I'm talking about, you know, infectious diseases and variants. But here, this is where we are, right? So evidently, according to the NFL, the Omicron variant kind of changed the game. It's just so contagious, but yet over 80% of the guys that have tested positive don't have any symptoms at all. You know, because most of the NFL players, the vast majority, are vaccinated. So now, if you're vaccinated and no symptoms, they're not going to test you, which is interesting because it's like, you know, these are football players. Do you think the starting left guard is going to go into the facility and say, oh, yeah, Doc, I had the sniffles last night? Like, are you kidding me? He's not going to do that. The offensive line coach would be like, what? You told him you're having symptoms? Like, I just don't see that happening. Even the weirder thing, guys, which I didn't see them say this. I didn't read this till yesterday. They're doing random tests on the vaccinated guys. So obviously the unvaccinated tested every day. The vaccinated only if you're symptomatic or randomized. It's like you're going to the airport. You know, you ever go through the airport and the buzzer goes off and you're like, wait a minute, I don't have any metal on me. What happened? They're like, oh, no, it's just random, you know, every 20th person. Well, that's what they're doing now for the COVID testing for vaccinated people. I don't understand it. Like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen in the playoffs if the random COVID test that week is Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady and they happen to test positive? Meanwhile, the team they're playing, their random guy that comes up is the practice squad punter. I mean, when you start to do stuff that's random, I think you get ripe for people to criticize and not really believe that it is random.
Yeah. On the positive side, we learned that randomized is a word. So there is that. Hey, tell us about, and I saw you tweet this out, tell us about your love for Strombolis. Top 5 food product you referred to it as.
It's just so good, man. It's just so good. Are Strombolis big in Vancouver?
I would say no. No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they're so good. I prefer it to pizza. It's like getting almost like an Italian hoagie, except it's compressed and it's warm and you have sauce with it, and it's so good. And I have leftovers, but today I'm eating a salmon because I'm a loser, and now I'm mad at you, Donnie, because now I'm going to be regretful my entire salmon with some green vegetable because Stromboli's so much better.
Are you telling me that I suck? Is that what you're telling me?
No, you're still top 5. Rick sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. We got it.
Let's clear those facts up.
Okay, Ross, again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We love having you on the show. Thanks so much. All the best, my friend.
Yeah, likewise to you and all your listeners. You guys have great listeners. I love the social media feedback. At Ross Tucker NFL. Hit me up. And to all, a good night or afternoon or whatever.
Thanks, Ross. All the best. Ross Tucker, a Ross Tucker football podcast. He mentioned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris Godwin, over 1,100 yards receiving, close to 100 catches, out for the season.
Out for the season, yeah.
For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, adding to their loss to New Orleans.
Unreal.
You good?
Yeah, he did a good job for a guy that drove from Cleveland to Pittsburgh yesterday.
Yeah, to Pennsylvania, to Hershey, Pennsylvania, home of the Bears. A break. Donnie and Dolly, the team on Check.
Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by AbleAuctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.